All right, so we are here early. I thought yoga started at 8:30, but it starts at 9:30. So I figured we just hang out, chit chat, whatever, whatever. You guys, make sure y'all check out Motive 8 pre-workout. They have a whole bunch of supplements and stuff. So if you're into the gym or whatever, this is really good. This is the Motive 8 pre-workout fruit punch flavor. My Click on my link down below and make sure you guys use I am chocolate mini 15 so you can get money off. But that's my code, I am chocolate mini 15, and the link to their website is in my descriptions. But anyways, okay, so yeah. I'm glad that we're doing yoga again. I used to do yoga a lot. Like over a year ago, I was doing it. Still weightlifting and stuff, but I wasn't weightlifting every day like I do now. Like now, we work out every single day. But before, when I was doing yoga, I was weightlifting like 4 times a week, and then I was doing yoga like when I wasn't weightlifting. So yeah, but I'm glad to be doing it again because I started noticing like I was getting more and more stiff, which let me know like I need to stretch. I was getting more and more stiff. I noticed my recovery was taking longer, like after the gym. I started getting more sore. I was like, I feel like this has a lot to do with stretching. And then, like, so y'all saw I did yoga yesterday. The lady was telling me yoga isn't really just about like flexibility and stuff. It's really about like mental clarity and becoming one with your body. And I didn't know all that. Like, when I think yoga, I think stretching. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm thinking all that stuff, like being flexible. And y'all saw I am not flexible. But part of it too was it's hard. I don't know about you, but I can't sit on my knees like on hardwood floor. Like that hurts. I don't know how people do that. And my mat, I need to get a better yoga mat. But this mat is not thick enough to be able to do that. Like I need a thick ass mat. I'm gonna get on Amazon and try to find one. But yeah, it was fun though. I have fun. So we're gonna do it again today, but at the gym. At the gym. But you know what's crazy? I started getting back into a lot of stuff that I was doing like a year ago. Let me fix the camera. It's crooked. It's driving me crazy. I was doing a lot of stuff different a year ago. And that's better. Ooh, you can see my muscles. Muscle mommy. Let me stop. But no, seriously, I was doing a lot of stuff different a year ago. Like, I was cooking a lot more, making a lot of stuff from scratch. But y'all see, I've been doing that again. I don't know why I'm yawning so much. So, getting back into that, doing yoga. I don't know. Like, sometimes I feel like we lose our way. Like, we might meet new people, circumstances come up. I feel like sometimes we lose our way and we have to, like, get back on track and get back to who we were before, maybe before that friendship, maybe before something tragic happened in your life, like whatever. But that's why like I talk to y'all so much about spending time by yourself, so you can really like find yourself, learn yourself, heal yourself, like, because once you do that, you're not gonna tolerate foolishness. Like, you really not. You're not gonna tolerate disrespect. You're not gonna tolerate inconsistencies. You're not gonna tolerate that from nobody. Like, I don't care if it's like your parents, your spouse, your partners, your friends, your coworkers, your upper management. Like, you're not gonna tolerate that shit from nobody. You don't give a fuck, like, because you respect yourself, you love yourself. But the only way you're really gonna do that is if you spend time by yourself to learn all of that. Sorry, y'all. I don't know why I'm yawning so much. I drank my pre-workout, but yeah, I don't know. I'm just glad to be getting back to me, getting back to like what makes me happy. Just learning myself again. And I love how I can like share the journey with you guys and hang out with you guys and y'all can see like what I do, and we can have these powwows, these girl talks, all the things, the chit chats. There's so many ideas I have in my head, and I'm just like trying to figure out like how to get them done, because it's like so many things I want to do. Like with being a content creator, it's like my eyes are just getting bigger and bigger. Like I just see so much stuff and I'm learning so much stuff, and I'm like, oh, I could do that. Like I want to start doing podcasts and like having the podcasts on here so y'all can see them. Like, oh no, but I don't know what the podcast would be about. I don't know if it's because see, like I believe that, and you know, it all started on my weight loss journey, but when you take care of yourself internally, it radiates on the outside. And so, sorry if I'm just looking ahead. It's just more comfortable than like keep turning my head. But like it radiates on the outside. And when you learn to love yourself internally, you love yourself externally and all those things. So it's like I like I don't know, I'm just starting to feel like mental health awareness is my calling. And I don't want to put myself in a box and be a niche, because it's so many things to me. There's so many things to you. Like you're not one dimensional, and don't let people put you in boxes. Like think about the box I was in. I think people still be trying to put me in that box. Like I started making content as an OnlyFans creator, so people put me in a box, and I also put myself in a box too. It wasn't just other people, me as well. I'm guilty of it. I put myself in this OnlyFans box where the only type of content I could make was twerking and, you know, just adult content. Like that was all I was allowed to make. That was the box I put myself in. But I'm so much more than my OnlyFans account. You know what I mean? And that's not the type of content that I want to make today. Like I want to make stuff about mental awareness, mental health awareness, weight loss, fitness, motivational content. Like I love making this type of content. I love vlogging, and like I said, us having our chit chats and just talking about things that I've been through, things that you've been through. I want to start doing like videos where I like talk about people's comments and stuff. There's one that I can pull up. We can talk about it. But the point I'm making is like don't put yourself in a box. And when I started doing weight loss content and fitness content, I started putting myself in that box again. Like, oh, I can't post that because it's not about weight loss. Why can't? Why can I not? And why do I keep yawning? Why do I keep yawning? I don't know. But like, no, don't put yourself in a box. Like, there's so much to you. And you know what else is really crazy? Anytime as I vlog and stuff, I learn new things about myself and what I like. So, yeah, like I'm just on a journey to learn me. I'm on a journey to be the best version of myself. I'm just on a journey to be my highest potential. And for me, and it might not be everyone's story, but for me, I've gotten so far in this journey because I've spent so much time by myself. You know what I mean? Because I don't have people's opinions seeping into my mind, right? So if you're around people who are negative, and they just got a negative outlook on life, any idea that you have, even if you don't necessarily tell them, but they see you doing it, they're gonna give you their 2 cents, their unsolicited advice. And if they're a negative person, just expect negative advice. But that like seeps into you, and you might start second guessing. Like maybe they do have a point. Maybe this is a little much, or like you know what I mean. But when you're by yourself, you don't have all those other extra opinions, so you're able to only listen to your own advice and to the advice that you are given from within God. So don't, I don't know. Just be you. Stop looking for validation and stuff. That's all I can say. Like, you are unique. You are special. Let me try to find that comment. Let me see. I need to start taking screenshots. That way that I need like a screenshots and then a comments folder so we can just like start addressing stuff. Cause it's crazy. I see a lot of the same uh comments. What was the video? Maybe I can find it off of the video. Mm. Then of course there's negative stuff. Like someone comment on this. You're 45 with 6 kids and 3 baby daddies. Take your super old ass home, lady. I'm not 45. I don't have any kids, which means I don't have any baby daddies. Like what? I am 33 years young. Thank you. No, no. Some people just like some of these comments. That's why like I don't. I respond to them. I respond to the positive ones. I kind of stop responding to the negative ones because it just gets draining. I don't know. I can't find it, but I do have an idea of like talking about different comments that I see where they're not necessarily being negative. They're just talking. Because I be seeing some of the same ones. Like there are some videos I'll make who I'm like, I think this was on easily on Instagram or TikTok. It was like, love yourself, no matter what you look like, even if you don't meet, even if you don't meet society beauty norm standards. Like you should still love yourself. You should still respect yourself. You know. And a woman commented and was like, "That's all true and dandy, but if you look like me, you would know that you shouldn't love yourself." And I was like, wow, wow. And her page was private, so I couldn't see her profile picture. But that like touched my heart because I'm just like, there used to be a point in my life where I felt that about me. It's crazy because all the traits I love about myself now, I actually hated growing up. Like I hated being so tall. I hated it. Even in my 20s, I hated being tall. I hated like as soon as I walk in, people are gonna look at me just because I'm so fucking tall. As a woman, like there's not too many women that you run into who are over 6 feet. Like that's not the normal. And I'm 6'3". So I hated that. I hated it so much. I hated now I love it. Like I love my height. Like I love my height. But I'm telling you guys, there was a point where I hated being 6'3". And y'all be loving it too. That's the crazy thing about it, but I used to hate it. I used to hate the color of my skin. Like I knew I was black. Being black wasn't the issue. I didn't realize how dark I was until I got to college. No, high school. It like I never thought about the shade of my blackness. That never crossed my mind until I got to high school. Like I went to an all it wasn't all white, but most I was like in elementary and most of middle school I was always the only black kid in the class. I had been teased about being black by, white kids or whatever. But I had never been teased about the shade of my skin color until I got to high school. When I got to high school, you know how it is. It's like more and more kids from different middle schools, so different areas of the surrounding area, right? So you have like white areas, you have like black areas, and so now all of these kids are merging into one high school. So I was around way more black people than I had ever been around before. Like I feel like the high school was still mostly white, but it was way more black people than what I was ever used to. And so I'll never forget there was this time in high school. So in elementary and middle school, you had to sit at your class table. But in high school, you got to sit wherever. And I was a very timid child. I'm not gonna lie. I was very timid, just to myself, shy, wanted to be accepted, but cared way too much about what people thought about me. Very insecure kid, very timid. So, anyways, like I hated how lunch was, where you had to like try to find a table and you could sit anywhere, and I didn't have any friends, so it was like just always awkward for me. Like after I get my food, like trying to find a spot to sit. Like I just hated that part. And so sometimes I would sit in the bathroom. Like it really was like that. But anyways, I found myself at this one table. I was at the end. And I don't remember it being to the point where like every seat at a table was filled. I feel like there was plenty of spaces throughout all the tables. So I was sitting at the end by myself, and this one black girl came up to me. She's like, "Why are you at our table?" Mind you, they had plenty of spots. Like, they had plenty of spaces to sit at. And she was like, "Why are you at this table?" And this girl, she was only like a shade or a shade and a half lighter than me. Like she was still a brown skin girl. Like she was not caramel. She was definitely a chocolate girl. And she's like, "Why are you at our table?" And I was like, "I'm just sitting." Again, me being timid, like it wasn't in me to be like, "Bitch," like, cause I'm here, say something, move me, ho. Like that was never been in my nature. So, so I was like, I don't know, like trying to get her to leave me the fuck alone. Like I really don't want no problem. I don't want no smoke. So then one of her friends, who was already sitting down, she's like, "We can just sit over here. Like just come sit over here." Like what? And the girl was like, "No, if you're not the color of this paper bag or lighter, you can't sit here." And I was like, "What?" Like I had my mom or my grandma, like no one had ever brought it to my attention how dark I was. Like I didn't know, I had never heard that before. And it's just crazy because that girl, like I said, she was only a wee bit lighter than me. Like she was still a chocolate girl. Every person who has ever teased or made fun of or bullied me or whatever for my skin color was always a brown skinned girl. It was never a light skinned girl. It was never a white person. Like a white person would just make fun of me because I was black. Like they didn't care what color I was. Like, bitch, you black. You just black. But like the shade of my blackness, that was never brought to my attention until her. She was a chocolate girl. Like honestly, we were damn near the same color. We could have shared makeup. But for some reason, she wanted to make fun of me and my skin color. And it was at that moment, and so she held the paper bag to me. Mind you, she wasn't even lighter than the paper bag. That's what I'm saying. Like, as an adult now, like, it's fucking crazy. Like, just the shit that kids say. We had to have been like 14, 15, 16, somewhere in there. This was like either freshman or sophomore year of high school. And yeah. Yeah, she wasn't even lighter than the paper bag. But she would just make fun of me. And I never sat at that table again because that shit like hurt my feelings. And she was like, "Yeah, so just so you know, I'll let you sit here today, but tomorrow you better not sit here." So I didn't tell my mom about it. I didn't tell my grandma about it. I just didn't sit there the next day. I was definitely like that punk kid. Like I just didn't want no problems. I just didn't want no problems. I didn't have confidence in myself. Whatever. But the point I'm making is like today, like my skin tone does not bother me. Like I love being chocolate. But growing up, like once it was brought to my attention how dark I was, I didn't like being that dark. And I used to be very self-conscious of it. And I remember there was a time in high school, there was this guy I had a crush on, and he was darker than me. And he was very friendly or whatever, like my buddy, but I had like a crush on him. And somehow it got out that I had a crush on him, and we would talk every day. And yeah, he's like, "Yeah, I like you and all, but you're just too dark for me. Like I don't really like dark skinned girls like that." And I was like, "Oh, okay." And so then that stuck with me. So that's what I'm saying. Like it wasn't until like I would say like my mid 20s where I stopped caring about how dark I was. But yeah, like from high school when it was brought to my attention to mid 20s, I didn't like being dark. And there was actually another guy who had said something to me. This was once I was an adult, and he was like, "Yeah, I really like you. You're real pretty for a dark skinned girl." I've heard that a couple of times. So that's what I'm saying. Like I just really didn't like how dark I was. And there was this one girl I used to be friends with. I'll never forget. We were sitting outside. Now she was still, she wasn't caramel. She was like a little darker than caramel, but she was lighter than me. But she's not light skinned. She's not light skinned. We were sitting outside having lunch one day, and it was like a hot day. I was like, "Ooh, child, I'm hot." She's like, "Yeah, let's go sit inside because I do not want to get dark. That is not cute." I was like, yeah. You know what I mean? It was like, okay. But again, like I just was never someone who would stand up for myself. That's what I'm saying. So I didn't like my height. I didn't like the color of my skin. So it was a lot of things that I didn't like when I was younger. But now, like I actually love about me today. And me being an adult today, like I don't hear any slick remarks. Maybe because, and I think what I think it is too. And correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it's how you wear yourself, if that makes sense. Like, I'm so confident in myself now, which is what I try to push to you guys. So, my confidence seeps through me, like, it radiates. And people are attracted to confidence, whether you are light skinned, whether you are dark skinned, whether you're as tall as me or taller, or whether you're like 4 feet tall, like, or like just super short. It's the confidence that I think attracts people to you. And people can tell off gate whether they know subconsciously or consciously if you're insecure. I hold my head up high. There may be moments where I'm like uncomfortable, like being in a new space is still uncomfortable to me. Like when we first, like my first day at the gym, and bringing the camera. That was uncomfortable because I haven't been to this gym. I don't know anyone. I got this big ass camera and I'm this big black girl, right? It was uncomfortable. But I still held my head up high. Like it wasn't on no insecure shit. It was just more on a I don't want no problems, right? So I guess I've always been the type that just does not want problems. Like I hate conflict. I hate arguing. Like I'm really not gonna argue with you. I will be quick to dip. Like I've always been that girl. So but what I can say is like it doesn't matter what you look like. It's about how you carry it. You know what I mean? There used to be a point I thought that because I was dark skinned I couldn't put color in my hair. So I would always keep my hair black. So when I was doing wigs, I would always do black wigs, dark brown wigs. And it wasn't until I started doing OnlyFans, and I think it OnlyFans kind of brought the confidence out of me. I would say it did. I would say it did because it was like, whether people agree or disagree with the whole concept of OnlyFans, OnlyFans is more than just adult content. I know that's what it's known for, but there are plenty of creators who do like cooking shows off of it, workouts. Like, it's more than just adult creation. But I am an adult creator. I am a solo adult creator. But, anyways, having to take pictures and make videos, it just kind of like made me more confident in myself. So I do feel like everything that you do in life is for a reason, and my confidence started to get to its highest when I started doing OnlyFans because I had to learn how to be comfortable in my body. And at that time, I was at my biggest. I was 340 pounds, but I had learned to start loving myself and loving my body and everything about me because I was making adult content. So I don't know. I think that's where it switched up for me. And you just have to really learn to love yourself. And if you don't, then you have to like I'm all for changing yourself as long as you love yourself before the change. So I got my teeth done, but that's something that I've been wanting to do. I had I needed a lot of dental work. I was in a domestic violence, abusive relationship, and when he hit me, he knocked out my front tooth, and so I needed braces. But the dentist was telling me like we could put the implant in, but if you want braces down the line, because my teeth weren't straight, they were pretty straight. Like I never had like a jacked up grill, but they definitely could have used some braces. So the dentist was telling me if we put the implant in, we can do that. But just know, like, if later down the line you want to get braces, just know the implant is going to stay where it's at. So my mom was like, okay, let's put braces on her. So they put braces on me, which was an awkward thing for me because I was in college with braces. Like that's normally something people do with their kids. But anyway, so I had braces, and they just put a fake tooth where my front tooth wasn't. They attached it to the braces so it looked like I had all of my teeth. And so that worked while I had the braces for 2 years. So no one knew that I didn't have a front tooth. Me already being insecure or whatever, like that was just like adding too much fuel to the fire of like not loving myself. So I was just very self conscious of that. But because I had the braces, um, no one knew that I didn't have a front tooth. Then when they took the braces off, because my teeth were straight, now I don't have a front tooth. So I would wear a retainer where they put a fake tooth in the spot. So I'd always have my retainer. And I was so self conscious about not having a front tooth that I would eat in the retainer and everything. I never took the retainer off. Even when I would go to sleep, I never took the retainer off. It was like that plastic one. And by doing that, all of my teeth started to get yellow because I was wearing that retainer all day, every day, never taking it off. I was getting a lot of cavities because I was just so insecure about not having that front tooth. And mind you, at this point, like insurance is not going to pay for that implant because that's cosmetic. Braces they paid for, but the other stuff they're like, no, like they're not paying for that. So for years, I would just wear this retainer. Then all of my teeth were yellow and discolored because I would never take that retainer out. So it wasn't until I started doing OnlyFans after I started loving myself, where I was like, okay, I can afford it. Let me get some veneers. And that's what I did. So, but the point I'm making is I started to love myself before the veneers. So that's why I'm not constantly looking for more and more work to get done. If you don't love yourself before the cosmetic work, you're not going to love yourself after. You're still going to be constantly looking for something else to change. Whether I got the veneers or not, I was already loving myself. I had stopped being insecure of my smile. Like I was insecure of it, but I didn't let it hold me back. There's a difference. There's a huge difference. But that came with learning how to love all of me. So I'm all for changing yourself. You should change yourself. Not necessarily cosmetic wise, but just eating right, getting in shape, changing your mindset, changing the group of people that you hang around. You know, there's nothing wrong with changing and elevating. But if you want to do like cosmetic work, I don't feel like there's anything wrong with that. But make sure you love yourself before the cosmetic work so that after you get it, you're not trying to chase something that's just not achievable. Like there's so many girls, especially like in the OnlyFans realm, where it's like I don't, and this is just my own opinion. I don't, there's, I think that some girls are so insecure with themselves and how they look that they're constantly trying to chase what they deem as perfect. But every time they do another procedure, they still don't feel perfect. Like there are girls who are getting like round after round after round after round of BBL or of lipo or breast augmentations or like of whatever. But I think it's more than just physical. I feel like there's something going on mentally with them where it's like they just don't feel like they'll ever be enough. And that's just my own personal opinion. I don't really know. But until you're enough for yourself, you'll never be enough for anybody else. But I'm not against BBLs. Like, get you a BBL. Like, do what you want to do. Get your breasts done. Like, I don't care. No one cares. It's just like I said, you have to love yourself before the procedures so that you can still continue to love yourself after. And then like the amount of time that people spend on social media too, I think plays a big role in it. And even I can feel in myself when I've spent too much time on social because then I start to feel like I'm not doing enough. So I limit how much time I spend on there because I don't like feeling like that. And I feel like it will. So I follow a lot of fitness influencers. So it could be really easy for me to fall into that trap of, oh, I don't look like them. I don't have a six pack. I'm not cut up and jacked like them. No one's going to like me. Like it could be real easy to get into that toxic trap. So to avoid getting into that toxic trap, I just don't spend that much time on social media. Social media is not law. You know what I mean? Like I think people spend so much time on it. They think it's like real life. It is sad because it's like there's more to life than social media. Like stop constantly comparing yourself to other people. Stop constantly trying to be like someone else. Like when I first started like really taking this shit seriously, like really really taking it seriously, I was watching other creators to see how they would do it. Like, okay, how are they structuring their YouTube videos? How are they doing this? How are they doing that? But once I got the hang of it, I don't even watch their content for that anymore. If I'm watching another creator's content, it's strictly for my own enjoyment and to learn something. It's not to see what they're doing, because we all have our own personality. And if you're constantly trying to be like someone else, you're never going to be happy, because that's not you. That's not who you are, you know? But you're not going to know how to be comfortable with yourself if you don't love yourself, if you don't find yourself. And the only way to really find yourself is to spend time by yourself. Otherwise, you're going to be constantly doing what other people do. So, like, I don't know. That's why, like, I always do talking in my videos. Like, if y'all see my reels or whatever, like on Instagram, TikTok, I could do a voiceover, but I prefer to talk. Every video that I do, I'm talking. It's not a voiceover. I used to chop up videos and piece together my workouts, but I don't do that anymore. I noticed, and you guys have told me, like, y'all like it better when I just go. Like, I just do what I do. There's no editing, there's no jump cuts, and I don't mind, because that makes it so much easier for me. Like, there's barely any editing going into that, and I love it. I'm with it. That allows me more time to make content, which is what I really like to do. I don't really like to edit, so that works. That works very well for us. I'm with it. But I'm just saying, like, you guys have talked about how y'all prefer that. So that's great. And a lot of people that I watch on Instagram or whatever, they're chopping up their videos, they're putting music behind it. You don't really get to see their real personality. You know what I mean? And there was a reel I watched, and the girl was saying people never want to follow smaller creators. They always want to follow the big creators with millions of followers. But it's crazy, because the smaller creators, you know more about them. Like, they actually respond to your comments. They actually engage with the audience more. They're the ones who are working really, really hard. They're the ones that you actually get to see their personality, and you just can relate to them more. And I could see that for some of the creators I follow. Like, some of the creators that I follow, I'm not gonna name any names, like, I don't even know how they sound. Like, I don't even know what their voice is like, because all of their videos are just chopped up with music behind it. I don't even know how they talk. So, you know, to each his own. Like, I still enjoy their content. Like, I'm not bashing or anything. I still enjoy their content. Um, they're they're inspirational, but I will say that you just have to be yourself. Is the point? You have to be yourself, and you have to do what works best for you. And there's so many routes to take. Why did he? Oh, he's an Uber driver. I was like, why did he just? Like, what the fuck? You just have to be yourself, is the point. Just learn to be yourself. Learn to be happy with who you are. You're unique. You're special. Love that about yourself. You know what I mean? Like, that's all I'm saying. So, yeah. What time is it? We still got a good amount of time. Let me see if I can find another comment. So that was about the girl saying that she doesn't think she should love herself. The problem is, on YouTube, after I respond to the comment, it disappears. So I'll never find it again. Okay, here we go. Here's one. This girl said, I love your confidence, and I'm glad you show the true you. That is very, very important, because in this day and age, it's almost non existing. So many other people are looking so made up and looking like each other, to the point where the uniqueness and individual identity is being destroyed. Thank you for This inspiration girly. Okay. So yeah, that's kind of like what we talked about. And you guys, it was uncomfortable for me because, and that's why I'm saying, like, you gotta stop one overthinking and stop asking other people for their opinion about stuff. So before I decided to take weight loss and fitness content more seriously, there was a point where I didn't even want to do it. Like, I wanted to do it, but I thought I had to wait till I was already small, till I was already cut up. So like by next year, right? That's what I thought, because I didn't really see too many influencers who were like showing their weight loss journey. And that's what makes it special, because you don't see a lot of that. And there's nothing wrong with people who were always in shape. Like, that's great. Or you might see people who were really skinny and they ate a lot and worked out and now they're really buff. But I haven't found too many creators who are starting on the opposite spectrum, where they are really, really big and they lost a lot of weight and they're weightlifting. And I don't see that regularly. So it was cool. Or I was nervous about it, because I was like, I don't look like someone who's been lifting weights for 20 years, and I'm not supposed to. I haven't lifted weights for 20 years, so how am I going to look like someone who lifts for 20 years naturally, right? I could do some steroids, but I'm just saying, like, you know. So it's just all about being comfortable with who you are and loving yourself. And people love journeys. Like, there are plenty of creators I follow. I've been following them for years. And over time, like, their content slowly shifts, but I've bought into them because of who they were when I first started watching them. That, like, most of the time, most of the creators that I watch, like, even though they don't really make the same type of content anymore, I just really like their personality. So I love the new content that they make. You know what I mean? I can relate to them, but I see their journey. I see how they started doing this one thing, and over the years, they've just been kind of shifting. And that's what I love about content creation, because you can shift. Like, when I do start having kids, like, one thing I think about is, like, cooking with my child. So making vegans, my child will be vegan, yes. But like making vegan meals with my son or my daughter, stuff like that. So it'll shift once I start having kids. But that's years from now. I don't want any kids now, but I'm just saying, when I do start having kids, like, I could do mommy and daughter cooking, or mommy and son cooking, like, whatever. Of course, if that's what they want to do. Like, I'm not going to force my children to do something they don't want to do. That's like, if it's about, like, structure or discipline, you know what I mean? Like, no, you're not eating ice cream for breakfast, right? But as far as, like, activities or things, like, I'm not gonna force it on them. But if it's something that they want to do and they enjoy it, and it's something they've been brought up doing with me, yeah. So, yep. Y'all, it's getting hot out here. I can't wait for fall. To be honest, like, I'm ready for fall. Like, I am ready. Man, I this past week and a half, it's been nice out. Like, I've been having to wear a sweater, but before that, as soon as you would go outside, you'd be sweating. It's crazy. I will say, I have noticed. I would say this past 3 weeks, I have noticed significant changes in my body. I think, and I don't know, but my theory is the supersets that we do and constantly moving in the gym. Because if y'all watched my older videos, after I would do a set, I would just, like, hang out. I wasn't supersetting anything. I would just hang out by the machine for like 2 to 5 minutes. Maybe even sit down. Like, that's really what I would do. But now, like, the whole hour that we're in the gym, I'm literally moving. Literally moving. The only time I stop moving is if I'm adjusting the camera real quick to get a better angle or to tilt it or something like that. But I'm literally moving the whole time. one piece of equipment or one exercise right into the next one, right into a walk around the gym. And then once we get back to our station, we're back in it for set two. We're back in it for set three. Like we're just back to back with it. So I think that might have something to do with it. I don't know. I don't know, but I've definitely started seeing significant differences for sure. I read somewhere, I haven't looked it up, but I have read somewhere that no, no, I know where I got this from. The personal trainer who used to spot me when I was at Planet Fitness for that brief period of time, he was telling me like when you do supersets, you're burning more fat that way. Like when you just sit there for 5 minutes, you're building muscle, you're building strength. But if you really want to burn off fat, like you got to keep moving the whole time you're in the gym. Like just keep moving. Don't stop moving. And that's how you get into your fat source. That's what he said. I didn't look it up to see if that was true or not. I always try to like look stuff up. But once he said keep moving, I was like, well, that sounds beneficial. Whether that's true or not, right? The keep moving part, I know for a fact is beneficial. If we're in the gym, we're in the gym. Like, let's just be locked in. Like, you know what I mean? Let's just be locked in. Let's just be focused for this hour that we're designating to ourselves. So that works for me. You know, it was something I was thinking about doing. I have to look it up. There's this, what you call it, a park? No, I don't know if you call it a park. So there's like this, it's like a safari, but not. So it's like a drive-through safari where you ride in your car and you drive through and you're driving through and you see all the animals. You see like giraffes and I don't know how they ensure that the animal doesn't like attack your car. I don't know that part. I don't know that part. But you maybe you ride in their car. I don't know, but either way, you ride through and you see all the animals like a zoo, but you can feed them and stuff. It's like I looked it up before. It's like 2 hours from my house, so it'd be a pretty long ride. But I love animals. I love animals. It's crazy because when I became vegan, it wasn't because of the animals. It wasn't. It was because I was just trying to lose weight and be healthier, and vegans just look so healthy and happy. And I was like, I want to be like that. And my personal trainer was vegan, and he was just always happy. You know, it was like that. Like, okay, more so for like wellness purposes. But since being vegan, I've really started to grow love for animals, like all animals, not just dogs. I don't understand why is it that dogs are like the chosen animal. If you abuse a dog, like you are going to jail for like 10 years. But you could easily just like slaughter a pig and it's totally fine. Like nobody's going to judge you for it. Why is that? Like I don't understand because all animals love, and I've been seeing a lot of videos on Instagram. They're so cute. Of like cows and um chickens and pigs, and I'm just like, oh, they're so precious, why would you want to hurt them? And this is not, I'm not trying to force you to be vegan or make you feel bad for eating meat. I'm just saying, like, I don't know, like seeing them, it's like, oh, I love animals so much. They're so innocent. They're so innocent. I've also started seeing like those what are they? They're like so weird. They're like iguanas. Oh my gosh. I've been seeing them. They're like these long things. They just be like walking and eating the bugs. But they're cute in their own way. I don't know. I don't know. I've been thinking like I would love to have a farm. Like I would love to have a farm. Like in my future, like not like a whole bunch of animals, but some pigs, some goats, some cows, some chickens. Now I don't know if I'm be the one taking care of them all the time. I'm pretty sure I was never raised on a farm, so I don't know what all that entails, but just a safe space for them. They're not gonna be slaughtered. They're not gonna end up on my kitchen table for breakfast. But I would love that. I know I want a farm for like my fruits and my veggies, like whatever I can grow in whatever area I'm in, to like have more of my own stuff growing. And I was also thinking about, I don't have a house right now, I live in an apartment, but I might get some pots and plant something. I don't know what, some type of veggie. And just kind of like take care of it. And it's like my vegetable pot. That's why I want a house. I don't know if I would buy a house, maybe, but definitely rent one. I would love to rent a house because I want a garden now. I do want a garden. And just kind of like grow my own stuff. Obviously, it wouldn't be enough to be able to live off of it, not have to go to the grocery store. Like, I'm gonna still have to go to the grocery store. But even if I could grow a few of my own tomatoes or a few of my own strawberries or something, I don't know, like just something, just like, something that I take care of and I nurture, and I feel like it'll just teach me so much to care for something. Like, I have a dog, yes, but I'm just saying, like, like a little plant that you take care of. I'm all on this spiritual journey. And like I said, just trying to be the best version of myself. I don't know. I think that would be fun. I think that would be fun to garden. I don't know. I haven't tried it yet. It sounds fun. I'll let you know when I actually do it. I might do it and be like, fuck that shit. Like, I don't know. I don't really know. Okay, I don't know if it would be fun. It seems fun from a distance. I don't really know what all that entails. Now I do know when I get my farm full of animals, like I would need help. I would have to pay someone to help me take care of them because I don't want them to be not treated right. And I don't know everything that goes into taking care of pigs or cows, right? I don't know how often you're supposed to milk them. But I'm just saying, like, it sounds fun. It sounds enjoyable to do some of it. Even if I only do like 20% of the work and the person that I hire does the 80%. Just the fact that I don't know, y'all. Listen, I just be in my thoughts, okay? I just be in my thoughts, but I would like to start with a garden. I would like to have a small garden, but until I get my house, a couple of pots with some soil and some type of veggie growing out of it. We'll see, right? We will see. Mm-mm. But I do love animals. I really do. And I don't know, like I've started feeling like I would say like this past few months, like now me being vegan is also about just caring about the animals. And again, I'm not trying to make you feel any type of way if you eat meat. I'm just saying, like, it do be sad. Like, if you ever watched What the Health, if you ever watched it, just like the way they treat the animals, I just feel like it's just sad. It's just sad to me. I don't know how you feel. You might not give one fuck. But I'm just saying, it is sad how they treat them. And those poor animals don't even know they're about to be killed and put on somebody's dinner plate. Poor things. And the pigs are so cute. They can be so cute. And the cows, they're so cute. There's this one cow person I follow. Well, let me see what. That cow is nasty as fuck. It's so cute, but it's nasty. But what is it? What is his name? I don't think I'll ever find it. It just started showing up. You know how like stuff just shows up on your newsfeed and it knows you watched it, so that it keeps showing you more and more. It was like that. Let me see if I can find it. I don't know if I'll be able to. Oh, here we go. Elias underscore films. Have y'all seen these videos? Okay, let me show you what. It'd be a little nasty because I'm like, why is he still eating this food? Okay. Look at that. I mean, look at the cow. And he's still eating it. I'm saying. Like, it be these type of videos that making me want the cow. It be nasty because why is he still eating the food that the cow literally just slopped? It's something racist that I want to say, but I'm not gonna say it. But I know you know what I'm saying. I know we here. We we here with it. I don't even think because I be reading the comments. Even white people be like, "That's disgusting." Some white people be like, "That is fucking disgusting." Like, what the fuck? So it's not even a race thing. It's a certain type of people thing. Because I don't know why he's still eating that food. But some videos like that, they can be like, oh, like I saw one, the lady had like this furry chicken and she gave it a bath and it was like so cute. Like it was just sitting there. Like if you ever watched how they I've seen videos where they wash their dogs in the shower and like they have like their moisturizer and the soaps and stuff and they show you the whole process. They clip their nails and everything. And so she had a hairy chicken. I've never seen a hairy chicken before. But she had like this furry ass chicken and it was doing the same thing, like just sitting there all nice while she washed it and put some coconut oil on it and she was massaging its wings and stuff. It was so cute. I was like, I want one. I've seen one where they did that to a pig. It was like this little baby pig, and they put it in the shower, and they were just massaging him and rubbing him. He was just sitting there, like all nice and sweet, enjoying his massage. And when I see those videos, I'm like, why would you eat that? Like, they're so precious. They're so cute. But because Instagram knows I love animals, it keeps showing me that stuff and I can't resist. Like every time I see one, I have to stop scrolling and watch. That's why I don't spend time on there because it's going to get me. They're going to get me. Next thing you know, it's going to be a whole hour that went by to me watching animals get groomed. But they're so cute. But anyways, all right. I'm going to go in now. It's 9 o'clock. The class starts at 9:30, so I'm going to go in, set up. Hopefully, when I called to reserve, I asked how many people were going to be in the class. He said only 3 people, including me. So if it's not that many people, I'll film it. If it is, I won't. Because I don't want no problem. I don't want no smoke. I don't want no smoke.